Just FYI, there's a lot to unpack today. Y'all ready? Get to the intro! Before we dive into it, don't forget to check out my social media. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't yet. Check out my blog posts, and especially don't forget to subscribe my Substack so you can get all my posts firsthand on your email. Welcome back to my blog, The Art of Getting Lost. If you haven't checked my latest post, please do so. And if you already did, welcome to the second part, the video. So after writing this post on physical and emotional luggage, I thought how good it is to reflect, to think about our life, to think about our choices. But I also thought, well, yeah, we still need practical tips because, man, when we're out there, it's a battlefield. So I decided to bring you today some packing tips that really help me when I'm out there traveling, and I hope they help you too. The first thing you're gonna need when you're backpacking, it's a backpack. I mean, it sounds obvious, but believe me, it is an important choice. It's also a very personal one, so I'm not gonna tell you what's the best one and what's the worst one, but I do think you should have a couple of things in mind. So usually when we're out there traveling for quite a long time, we're living off this backpack, which means that everything we have and everything we care for is in this backpack, so you better keep it safe. I've used in my last trips this duffel bag, I guess that's how it's called. It's not like the most common backpack, but there's two main reasons why I really like to use this one. The first one is the material. It's super strong, it's very resistant, and it's waterproof. I mean, seriously waterproof. And for me that's really important because I know things are gonna get messy, things are gonna get muddy, and I wanna keep myself dry and safe. And the second thing is it actually opens like a suitcase. It actually opens like a suitcase, which means that you don't have to remove every single thing from your backpack every time you need something that you happen to forget in the bottom. And that's something that I really appreciate. The second thing you're gonna need are packing cubes. These are true lifesavers. They come in all shapes and colors. I don't think that's really relevant. I would just advise you to pick the ones that suit your backpack so you can make sure that they all fit together and you can actually organize your things, otherwise it's gonna turn into a headache. When it comes to clothes, I'm obviously not gonna tell you what or not to wear, but there's a couple of advices that I would give you. I tend to pick clothes that are very neutral. They're very versatile and they're easy to match. As you know, I travel very light, so I like to make sure that one, I'm gonna actually need those clothes, which generally doesn't really happen. There's always something that I don't wear, which pisses me off because why am I carrying it the whole time? But in general, I tend to pick clothes that are like rain jacket, a must, and comfortable pants. I love these ones because they actually turn into shorts, so I don't have to decide between bringing pants or shorts. I can just bring both. When it comes to shoes, I always keep it very simple as well. I tend to bring one pair of shoes that I can pretty much wear everywhere, including sporty stuff, because I know I'm gonna go for a hike, I'm gonna go into the jungle, I'm gonna walk a lot even in the city, so I wanna make sure that my shoes are very comfortable, they match with pretty much everything, hence the black, and again, that they're waterproof because I hate having my feet wet. So black is the new black. And then, of course, a must, little sandals. Yeah, mine are pretty old, but I like them this way actually. I will say though, if you end up going to like beach or like near the water, make sure that your flip-flops are actually water resistant. Otherwise, if you go to the water with like leather flip-flops, they're gonna end up like this. The next items are crucial to make sure that you get some sleep anywhere. If you are like me, seriously, like I'll be taking a nap on the taxi, on the bus, on the train, on the plane. I take a nap anywhere I can. So I want to make sure that I'm comfortable while sleeping because, you know, the first thing would be earplugs, a must, again. And the second thing would be a sleep mask. I don't really like wearing this one, so I don't do it very often, and in fact I actually most of the times forget my own at home. The good thing is that most airlines, or at least the long haul airlines, they usually provide, or they have some if you ask them, which I usually do, and you can just keep an extra one in case you leave one at the hostel or you end up losing it. The thing I never bring is a travel pillow. I feel like they're really comfortable for some people, but in my own case, I don't think it's worth it to carry it the whole trip because I know I will not use it that much, and I can always improvise in other ways, using like a sweater or folding like an extra shirt. So yeah, for me it's not really that useful. Another very important thing is a padlock. You'll be staying in lots of public places with lots of people passing by, so you might as well keep your stuff safe. Some of the hostels have lockers or keys, but some of them you need to bring your own, so you can either buy it, which can get expensive, or just carry your own. I carry my own all the time, even for small trips, because I can also lock my own bag, which is pretty cool, even if I don't have anywhere that safe to put it. I can always leave it by the bed or something, but always locked. Safety first. Now imagine you meet someone really cute and you want to save their number, but your phone died. You're gonna go back to the old ways. You're gonna need paper. No, seriously. I always bring a notebook. As you might have noticed on my blog, I like to write. So I use the notebook to just write down some thoughts or to journal every now and then. And actually to plan my trip. It's not just for entertainment, but sometimes for actual useful and like logistical purposes. And speaking of entertainment, books are something I never forget. I always bring two because, well, first of all, because I always think that I'm gonna read so much that I'll run out of books. That has never happened. I always bring two, usually the one I'm currently reading, and always a different one, just in case. I always try to bring a small one like this one. It's easy to carry around when I'm walking around the city, and I would bring my backpack. The next item, again a very important one, is to have a first aid kit. I know this changes a lot according to where you're going, what kind of activities you're doing, and because they always have different risks. However, I really advise you to always have a first aid kit with you. I will not guide through every product that I have, but I will leave you a list here. They're just the basics, and just to make sure that if something happens, you can take care of yourself and can act quickly against anything that might happen. One of my favorite travel items, or actually items in general, is these little bags. I almost never leave without one. And especially when traveling, I think they're the coolest thing you can have. So these were my tips on what to pack for a trip. As I've said before, it really depends on where you're going and what kind of adventure you're in for. I would like to know what are your must-haves for a trip, so please let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to show your support, reach out to me, let's get in touch, and I see you next time. There's almost nothing free in this life, but my Substack is, so don't forget to check it.